Hi folks, welcome back. Alright, this should do it. Welcome back folks to another live stream. Hope sound's working fine. Welcome in our galaxy of bricks. Good to see you today. It is, not the greatest on my part. Welcome in, Eli. I got a bit sick, so apologies, my voice sounds a little unhealthy compared to usual. But I thought we'd just go live anyway and see how we do and make some progress on the new build. I made a pretty simple layout here, as you can see, just with 2x2 bricks. Probably not going to stick with that. Made a bit of a different table scrap here, kind of a waterfall thing, and I think we're going to work with that on a 12x12 base today. 12x12 being our usual, piece of comfort here. That's the size that we like to build. Welcome in, Ivan. It's good to see you. I may have to clear my nose occasionally on stream today, so I'm gonna see to mute myself for that. So apologies in advance should I be quiet there for a moment. Anyways, like I said, we're gonna do 12x12, but instead of 12x12 with a tiled border, we're going to make 12x12 modules with axle bricks to connect future segments together. I thought that would be a nice little way to approach this project in a way that is digestible for the stream. So yeah, if that's something you're interested in, feel free to of course do it yourself as well, and share whatever you come up with in the Discord. Maybe this could become a new little thing that some of us might enjoy together. In any case, I've started, just got myself some bricks out on a 12x12 base. Just gonna finish that real quick with, I'm gonna take the headphones off. You still are gonna have music, I hope. So I'm gonna put those to the side and get myself some corner bricks. Dark bluish grey might be the better pick because I have more of those, if I could find them. If we go back again, I think they're not here. Jesus. Did I put them here? Yes, I did. Okay, there they are. I had to resort some of my collection after taking apart the Gothic build, since, yeah, I mean, you've seen it. You were there for the last live stream 2 weeks ago. There was still a lot to be taken up, and I did that, and my bins filled up rather quickly, so I had to put some pieces in different places. In any case, that's that. And we're going to put this base on top, just like that, take the tiles off, and then we're going to have a 5-plate tall base that we can connect to future modules if we so desire. Might actually switch out the base for a different color. No, we're gonna keep it black. We're gonna keep it black. Actually, we don't need to keep it black. I'm gonna switch them for a different color. So I can keep the black plates for the top, or for whatever portions might end up being visible that I would like to be a little cleaner. Let me know if the stream starts lagging. I'm gonna keep an eye on the chat. I hope that's not gonna be a thing today, but I messed with the encoder settings just a little bit earlier, and I hope it all works out. Set them back to what we had on the first couple of streams. Anyway, I think this is a 12, no, that's a 14. That's another 14. That is a 12 though in red, and I think this is another 12. Beautiful. Gonna put those bricks back on the corners, on the edges, and those on the corners. And there we go. By the way, I was in, what's his name again? Come on, I'm blanking. Marco Falworth's stream yesterday. Hello, Boba Bricks. I saw you there as well. And Mark, when I joined CNI, Mark said it, well, while you're here, feel free to like the stream. And that's something I forget, or well, never really say. So if you're enjoying the stream, feel free to drop a like. It does apparently help with the algorithm, so it's supposed to channel all that jazz. not too deep into it, but feel free to do that if you consider it, you know, worth supporting. Yeah, we're just going to cover it up with the black bricks. That's all right. Let me get a piece of brick to put on the inside. Connect those two together, just like that. Now we've got a little 12 by 12 base to work with today. That should do fine, I think. Right. I want to integrate this waterfall. We're not going to do it at an angle. It's a bit too small of a footprint to do that here. Well, we could make it work, of course. Nothing you can't make work, really. But I think it's going to be easier for the stream today to just build on the grid and see where it takes us. So I've got some, still got some wide paths here from designing that little waterfall. Doesn't look like much right now, but I hope it's going to look like something once we're done with the stream today. So I'm going to put those aside. Actually, put them back in the drawers. There we go. And I've also got myself some of my rockwork parts here. And of course, the almighty 1x1 filler, studs, pips. We had that conversation on the last stream of what to call them. Tweezers, of course, very important. One of the essential tools in any MOC builder's kit, in my opinion. And I think that should get us started. Got some snot bricks in the back. Jazz? Okay, I see you. Well, last stream was the first time we had music in the background, and I thought I'll just put it on again here. Because people said it might just help with the vibe a bit more. So, yeah. If you're enjoying it, glad to hear. And if you're not enjoying it, feel free to tell me what kind of music you would like to hear, and we'll see. We can arrange that. But for now, cheers, folks. Always stay hydrated. And we'll get to building. Considering I want to put, yeah, we're probably gonna have a little, kind of a little pond on the base of this 12 by 12 module here. And I want the edge of that pond to be snot work. I don't think, let me check, before we do that, before we go in that direction, let me see how many piece slabs I have in Translite Blue, because it's very limited. I've got 2 here, 3. Alright, I think we're going to judge the idea of a snot. What do you call it? 12 by 12 or that in the back? That in the back was, well, you're in the Discord. Evening, Ori, by the way. Good to see you. Bobo, I'm sure you saw the pictures I posted in the Discord. I'm not sure I'm going to stick with this type of base, at least not at this time, not for this stream. We're going to build a 12 by 12 and possibly combine a couple of modules together in the future and make up a little bit of a larger build. So that's the reason we've got this kind of modular base with the Technic axle holes on the sides. But I wasn't feeling the layout that I was working with, and I thought we'd just start fresh on the stream today. So we're going to do that and see where it takes us as usual. Just going to quickly clear my nose, folks. Enjoy the music while I'm going. And we're back. Do you imagine a story in mind when you build? Occasionally. Mostly, well, the story mostly happens when I start a build with the figures. Usually it's, well, there is no usually, really, it just happens. Whichever way it wants to happen for any given project. Right now I'm not thinking of a story, I'm just, kind of feeling for the vibe of the landscape, if that makes sense, as we go along. But sometimes I do start builds with a story, with minifigures, and then, you know, given I do have minifigures, I kind of try to imagine, or it just happens naturally, you know, who are these people? You know, what do they do? Why do they dress the way they dress? What kind of world could they inhabit? And then the build goes from there. Yeah, but story, rarely, to be honest. Except, of course, when I build for a quest like Age of the Unseated in some way, shape, or form. Right. I'm gonna... yeah, I want this to be a very bright build. You know, Gothic was very dull in terms of color. And I want this to pop. So we're going to use bright colors, we're going to use bright green, we're going to use some... well, I hope I'm not going to end up using olive. But I'm also using, of course, bright colors for the waterfall. It's going to be a bit more stylized with the white parts for the foam in there as well. So I am going to start with a white base, which means I'm probably going to swap out this plate again. See if I have a wide 6x12. I don't think I do, but I surely do have some other white plate that we could use. Let's see. This isn't looking too fantastic, I have to be honest. Oh, we've got at least one plate that we can put here, and then I'm gonna take a 4x6. Now we're gonna finish that. I just need a brick down below there. Let's see. Get my filler box. Just put something there. And let's get us started. I want to build something too, but I'm so backed on inspiration. Well, I've applied for Rebel Global Rigs. Good to see. Best of luck there. Ori, I'm a bit sick myself, so I'm not really up to my creative standards at this moment either. But, you know, we do these streams partly for me to just get to building. To just do something, whatever it might be. So I can only recommend that. Of course, if you feel like it. But just start building. See where it takes you. If you have physical bricks on hand, then definitely start with those. If you don't, okay, start with digital. Although, you know, well, I do have to say, when I start sketching out a digital build, it usually doesn't go anywhere. So I would recommend starting to sketch with physical bricks. It doesn't have to be the right color, just something. And make a tree, make a little boulder, a little rock, and see where it goes. Well, that's my approach, of course. You'll have to figure out what works for you yourself. Right, let's put these back in. Yeah. And this one goes here. And then we'll have, let's see. Let's mess around with, got my Translite blue tiles here. Let me get them within reach here a little more. And we're going to try some solid blue colors, like medium Mazura, I think this one is. Is it? Yeah, I think it is. I think it is. This one should be medium blue. The blues are... sorry. The blues are shades that I'm still having somewhat of a difficult time kind of identifying, because there's just so many. But I also don't use them a lot. Hi DP, welcome in. It's good to see you today. Hope you're having a lovely day so far. I would like some brighter colors first. Well, let's start with the light aqua. See how that looks. Just get me some of those tiles and just put some light aqua underneath there and see if that works for our purposes here. I mean, if I was starting out with whites, just put something there, and that would be a nice gradient, but that would mean I lose the depth that you get from light shining through multiple layers of transparent pieces. So I think we're gonna have to stick with the trans light blue pips. Another idea though that we could try, and I do want to do that, I think, is we're going to ditch the solid plate cover for... Is that a good idea? I think it is. We're going to try that. Ditch the solid plate cover for a gradient of solid colors and then put transparent light blue pips on top and then add the layer of tiles. That way we have that solid color layer 2 layers down. Having a wonderful day, and you? Well, as you can hear, I'm a bit sick, but other than that, I'm doing. I want to say I can't complain. Really, it's been a pretty relaxed Sunday. Partly because I'm not in the best condition, but yeah, it could be much worse. Even, what organizer brand do you use for sorting and organizing your bricks? I have a mix of Stanleys that you can get on Amazon and the Lidl/Aldi ones that you can occasionally get from, well, Lidl and Aldi stores. There's a couple in the US. They're quite prominent in the UK and France, and in Germany, obviously, where they, well, at least I believe that's where they originally came from. We're going to start. Actually, I'm going to have to fill in this whole bottom layer. That's going to help. I think that's going to be fine. And another one of those. Maybe a 2x6 to have a 2x6 within reach here. Yes, we do. It is blue, but that doesn't matter. There we go. Alright, now we want to have, let's say we're going to put the waterfall here. Here, something like that. I'm going to have white here. Yes, sir. I use the Lidl ones. They're pretty good. Lidl can stack as well. They just don't have the registration pins as prominently as the Stanleys. What I do prefer about the Stanleys, is compare the drawers. You can see that these Stanleys, which are these ones, are a little bit simpler in terms of molding. Let me get that focus on there for you. Right here. So you can see inside of them a little better. They're, you know, I would say the clarity is similar, but the Lidl/Aldi ones have, you know, more going on for the actual gripping piece. And I have to say, I don't like the actual grip of the Lidl ones as much as the Stanleys. They have a little more negative space underneath this lip to hold on to. Yes, Boba Bricks makes the point that Lidl is cheaper, and yes, they definitely are. You can get, when you get a good deal, you can get like, I want to say 3 Lidl drawers for 1 Stanley drawer. So price, no discussion, absolutely go with the Lidl ones. But another thing that you can't see, but on the actual box containing the drawers itself, the little pins, well, the mechanism as a whole keeping the drawers in, locking them at the back, is much more secure on the Stanleys than the Lidl ones. So yeah, I prefer the operation of the Stanley ones, but budget, you know, obviously, as you go towards the Lidl ones more often than not. Oh, you have built your own separators for Stanley? Those neat. They have their own, but you need to buy them separately. I hate that you have to buy dividers separately. I just, you know, shipping stuff and getting stuff shipped, you end up with, you know, boxes, and I just cut them up and hit my own dividers. They're not perfect, but they do the job. Obviously, the little ones actually coming with dividers is another plus on their account there, and they're quite sturdy. You know, you can't really lose them. Whereas when you look at these wrong, or you put things in them a little too high, or tiles or something, you know, occasionally the cardboard drawers will just slide up and pieces will mix underneath. But other than that, you'll make it work. You'll make it work. Righty, we wanted to... I put the white back. We wanted to make a solid color gradient underneath there. We're gonna keep it very simple, I feel like. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna put the waterfall here. We're gonna have a little bit of white around there. And then we're gonna go straight into the light aqua. Have one layer of light aqua around the white. Right there. Get the tweezers. I have to get my fingers in the small bin here. How many do we need? 3 more. Well, we've already got those. Only got 1x1 plates in light aqua, so that's not perfect, but we make it work. Let's see how far we can take it here. That's the last one. Right, then I think it's going to be like this. That's alright, I can work with that. We can put that drawer away. No more to be found in there. And we're going to put the... Let's see, how did we have that? Like this. Yep. Okay, we're going to put these back on. Little water assembly from earlier. And actually, let me swap that out for a chance clear one up. I didn't put the focus back where it belongs. That should be fine. Anyone feel free to brainstorm. Might want to build another of those micro vignettes and D&D inspired ones. Any ideas for a super micro build that could fit? Well, well, you know, I'm not too deep into micro. I can make it work if I have to, but other than that, I'm of little use there. But I'm sure you'll figure something out, Ori, because you always do. Right, let's see. Next layer, alright, folks. Gonna put those on the tile. Which one do you reckon is lighter in value? Obviously, the medium blue is much more muted. The medium azure is much more vibrant. But which one would you say is lighter, regardless of the intensity of the color? I'm thinking if we put, I'm gonna have to, got my brick separator here. Pick off some of those light aqua ones. Oh, 2 more, come on. Let's put those here. Which gradient do you think flows better? Well, it's a bit light. You can barely differentiate the light aqua from the white. Medium azure, I'm super happy with the new Neuschwanstein castle I built with this. Making this go casing. Sweet, sweet. Light blue one. Well, I think we're gonna go with the medium azure then. I think it will also help with the, you know, the kind of vibrant look that I'm going for. So let's put that there. And oh, I've got a lot of it in here, but actually, yeah, there's a couple of plates. Let's pick those out first. We need another little bit of filler brick there. No, we're just going to use the pips for that. 3, that's 2, that's one missing. And another 3 from the stack, please, thank you. There's another 1x2 plate. My blue collection is very limited, I have to admit. It's not fantastic, but we make it work. Alright, let's put a couple more here. Right, I got the ping already. I'll check it out. Don't you have normal aqua? I don't think I do, unfortunately. Like I said, my blue collection is well, very, very small. Like this is all the medium azure I have. It's in one drawer because it's not worth making a new one for the little variety of parts. I do have a bunch of dark blue and sand blue, but yeah, only light aqua when it comes to the aqua. And you know, my usual collection is also quite limited, which is a bummer. Let's see, do I even have the blue sorted? I don't think I have the blue sorted, it's in a bag. Let me see if I can find that. There is normal aqua? There is. But I want to say it's retired. Yep, okay, so Darian confirms that it is discontinued. Anyone know if you also got the new pump wall parts? Well, we did discuss that in the Discord the other day, and some of the Bricks Lab members said they do have some of the new parts on pick-a-brick walls throughout Germany. So apparently somewhere in the Düsseldorf area, I want to say, they apparently have the fern pieces, but not D-snot, and not the 1x1 by 2/3 brick modified with open stud. So yeah, you'll have to check out your store to see if they have it. Would you be able to enlighten me on the spelling of your message, DP? Not sure I gather your meaning there. Why did Lego use the Italian word for water? Aqua. Okay. I see. Sorry. I just misread. And not the Danish word. I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. But let me see if I can find the blue bag in my box of bags real quick. I want to say it again. If anyone needs our black 1x1 brick, 1x2 brick modified with clip, I have a ton of them. Let's see. I see blue right here. Let's see if that fits in the gradient. Hope we're gonna stick to the more modern blue colors. We have 2 Lego stores in Copenhagen, so I'll probably check next week. 5-minute walk between them. Well, that's sweet. Very convenient. Alright, let's see. Okay. Well, I do think it works with the gradient, but then the medium blue doesn't work. Out of the way. Let's see, do I have any more of those plates in here? I think there's one hiding in here. I'm going to tear apart this waterfall. I'm not going to go with this concept. I'm fairly certain. That's just bricks. I can go back in here too. But I see some plates down in here. That's 2 of them. If I'm not mistaken. Oh, that's just a 1x1. Let's see. That's a brick. Right. We'll work with what we've got. Put those here. Put 1x1 here. Evening, Oshi, welcome in. It's good to see you. How are you doing today? And hi, Mac, welcome in as well. And Oz, L, hi, welcome in. As you can see, we're just dabbling with a little 12x12 module this time, without a border, so that in the future we may be able to add more modules to it by means of a Technic axle. Currently sick and I have to finish a MOC for Rebel, like it's taking a bit longer. Are you part of the Dark Knight collaboration, Mark? Remember to like the stream, everyone. Well, thank you, Bobo. I probably won't have said that ever again on this stream, if you didn't remind me of it. Let's put down the rest of this azure, and then we're off to the blue. Right. Put that there. We need some more on this side in terms of filler. I'm procrastinating doing my econ and card work. Well, there's never a better time to do it than now, Mac. You don't do it now, you're gonna do it later. I might as well do it now. No, not that collab. Alright, interesting. So there's something else going on as well. Not to by myself, been a quiet Sunday. Well, same for me, Yoshi. It's been very, very quiet. You know, we had a couple of weeks of beautiful weather now. Hardly any rain, and it started raining, I want to say last night. So, yeah, everybody was inside. Played some board games with the fam. And what was I looking for? The three, another two would be convenient. Yeah. And can't tell you that's it. Obviously not, Mark. But curious to see whenever it releases. Right, we've got that. Yep, 2x2 might fit here quite nicely. And then I think give me another, just another 1x2 plates way down in there. Really should sort my blue up sometime. Get rid of that. Sorry, this way. Like that. Yep. Alright, now let's cover it up. I do want some trans clear in there. Oh well, we need a layer of trans light blue first. Let's not forget that. Yeah, we're gonna go here. I'm procrastinating building a market, but I haven't started yet, and only 3 hours left, so I probably won't build it at all. Well, you as well. Might as well do it now. You know, we're building on the stream, so feel free to build along. Can't hurt. Unless you have more important things to do, obviously. Procrastinating sleeping. Well, a lot of procrastinating in chat, I feel like today. Right, sweet putting down pips time. See, I'm probably, well, let's stitch these. Yeah. Found dark green ferns, dark blame masonry, olive masonry. Okay, sweet. These not light blue 1x4 masonry, and 1x1 translight blue tiles across 3 Lego stores: Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and Detroit. Best part in years. So that sounds amazing. That actually sounds like a pretty decent part selection. Dark green ferns, obviously, there. It's good to have them on the pad wall. These not, obviously, but the variety of, masonry bricks is pretty cool as well. And translight blue 1x1 tiles are something I haven't seen either. Obviously, I got myself some 1x2 translight blue tiles on the pad wall, but other than that. So what are we looking at here? Star Wars build or something fantasy? We don't know yet. It's all up to our imagination. And we'll see where it takes us. The only thing we've got here right now is a waterfall. as you can quite clearly tell, I hope. I hope it doesn't look like an ice wall, even though that, you know, we could do that too. Right, 3 more to go here. There we are. Let's put down some tile and see how the gradient looks. Let's not forget the trans clear though. Gonna use some trans clear plates with a stud, you know, kind of resembling some bubbles on the water surface, because we do, after all, have a little bit of a waterfall here, so might as well put some waves there. Something that's splashing on the rocks a bit. Yeah, let's put that there. We've got them right here. Maybe put some 1x1 rounds on there. That might not be a bad choice. Yeah, that looks. It's a waterfall on Naboo. Well, that would be another option. Jacob, do you have IRL inspiration? An IRL city that inspires you when it comes to its architecture? To be honest, no. I usually just, you know, when I need inspiration for any certain IRL architectural period, I look at what cities have that style that I'm shooting for, and then take that as inspiration. In addition to, of course, a whole lot of artwork and, you know, video game art and stuff. Work in progress and off topic. You can put them in the regular work in progress channel, Boba Bricks. Sorry. Let's have a look. Oh, you're still working on that, Boba Bricks. Well. Righty. Where will we? Wanted to put that. Oh no. That one here. Gonna have. Ah, let's go straight into the translight blue right here. Maybe not. Do we have a 1x1 trans clear at the top? I think I'm all out of those. And that's a bummer. Okay. Well, nothing you can do about that. Right, let's put that here. That one on top. Put this one here, I reckon. Maybe. Yeah, I think that'll work. That one here. That one there. Yeah, I think this is all right. I'll give you guys a closer look as soon as I've got those tiles put down. Now, let's see, do I have any more? Yes, I do have translight blue 1x1 tiles. Not a whole lot. It would be useful to have that picket brick wall from Eli. Grab myself some more of those. Right, one there. One there. And let's see if we can somehow manage to get that, the rest of this build covered up in a manner that doesn't need a whole lot more 1x1 tiles, because there is one left. Right, let's get that out in case we do need it. Better to have it than not to have it. Right, and maybe, just maybe, let me get some 1x1 plates as well, because we might just put some plants on top of the water. Some lily pads maybe. Should make some progress on ion. Well, you very much should, Mac, if you have it on you. I don't know if you've got 2 weeks off for Easter as well over in the States. I would assume you do, but who knows? You might be back home is what I'm trying to say. Go on eating, see you after, hopefully. Have a good one, Mark. Hope it's good food. Let us know if it was alright when you're back. Tile. There we are. Maybe we'll put one here. That one goes here. Put 1x4 on there. We might have to put one more 1x1 tile, but that works out exactly. So that's fun. Clear up the rest here. Maybe put another one. Those bubbles. Well, maybe not there. Maybe here. Yeah. Okay. Quite a little cleanup job. Those back in the bin. Bricks go over here. Let's get those over there. Cheese loaf, headlight brick. Some more plates, cheese loaves, and we've got that out of the way. Blue back in the bag. And we're off to it. Right, I think that is an acceptable gradient. What do you reckon, folks? Let's see if I can get it without the glare. I think that looks alright. How's that? I think it works pretty well. We might put some, what do you say about some white at the base of the waterfall? Do you think that's alright as it is? Or shall we add more white? Feel free to let me know. I like it, glad to hear it, Mac. Looks good, sweet. Sweet. Let me know if you're gonna put, if you want me to put some more white at the base of the waterfall. Actually, I'm gonna keep those rock parts here. We might just end up using them. Put the plates away though. White and blues can go in the back. Not gonna use those anymore today, I think. Good, good, sweet. Sweet, sweet. That's good to hear. Right, then I reckon we're going to start with some rock work. And I think we're going to put a slight little, indication, I want to say, of a beach right here, and then have some kind of rocks swooping up here. Some white as foam wouldn't be a bad idea to try and transition from them much more solidly colored fall to the ocean. Well, let me give you a closer look at the waterfall. It's very much transparent as well. It's got the same kind of one layer of white and one layer of translight blue plate, and then on top of that is tiles and some more white. But you know, you're correct. There is a lot more solid color on the waterfall than there is on the actual water. But yeah, should we put some more white in there? We can definitely do that if you think we should. Micro scale? No, it's gonna be well, it's not intended to be micro scale, but I'm probably not going to put a figure on the build either. So let me put that focus back where it belongs. There it is. Exposure a bit darker because there's a bit of glare on the white. Otherwise, it's like greebling, Boba. I like the greebling, sorry. Well, I just used my last 1x1 light bluish grey plate. That is unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Right, I think I'm going to try to add some more white, and you let me know if you prefer that. Let's see, cheese slopes will be convenient, I think. And then maybe there. Some white plate underneath there. At least underneath some of those pieces. Let's see. Put that here. Maybe something like this will work a little better. Like that. Oops, actually. Swap that around. The other way. There we go. You can hardly see that. Yeah, but it does make a slight little difference, I want to say. Let's see, we can put something white there. And that one's blocked. Let's see, I'm gonna put white cheese slope here. Or maybe, yeah, let's put the white cheese slope on there. And that one on here. See how that looks. No, other way around was better. Then that gradient on the ice looks good. Well, there's a first person coming in saying that looked like ice. So maybe we're gonna make a very, very cold build instead of a waterfall. Who knows? We'll see as we go along. Alright, I think this one definitely needs something lighter. Maybe it's enough we put a transclear plate there. No, that could use a little more. Put a white plate in the back. See if that brightens it up enough. Yeah, that might do it. Let's have a closer look again, folks. How's that? It's not much, but I think it does make a slight difference. I think we do need a little more here. So I'm going to add one there, just real quick. Stick with me here. We'll be back shortly. Actually, let's just swap that out for a 1x2 plate. Right there. And that one goes right here. Like so. That one right there. And yeah, we do need another tile. Let's see. Right. I think we need to swap some here. Focus will be back on the build shortly. Give me a second, folks. I'm not sure I like that. I think we might want to put the white cheese slope here on the other side. Right there against the curved slope. And then maybe just put one here, like so. And put one of those. Transclear. Yeah, I think that's going in the right direction. What do we think, folks? Get the aperture closed down a bit more so you can see the gradient. Again, it's nothing too crazy, but I think it makes a slight difference. Going to swap that out real quick for a transclear one, like that. Not a huge difference, but I think that's it. All right, good to hear. Focus back on there. I thought it was supposed to be a frozen waterfall. Well, it is supposed to be a stylized running waterfall. I need to modify 1x1 with bar handles on ends. In light brush grip, like I decided tan and red are more important. I'm not entirely sure which piece you're talking about, Mac. But we can always use pieces in more colors. No doubt about that. I'm going to swap this tile here for a transclear one. Swap that real quick. That doesn't matter. That one can go here. This one can go here. Go on. Tweezers to the rescue. And just another tip there. So the music's still running, by the way, folks. I think it should, but never hurts to ask to be sure everything's still working properly. Right, that here. Ooh, no, that's not the way. Needs a bit of tuning here, I feel like. So we're going to do that. Well, I think we're going to have to roll with it. Let's put another tile down here. We can hide that like so. No, put the trans clear back in there. Might be. No, that works. That works. That works. It's not too bright. And I'm going to swap this 1x1 plate. You can't see it very well, folks, but you will understand in just a moment. Swap that for a trans clear one too. How's that look? Yeah, that's alright. I think we can work with that. Got one more. Let's think. Yeah, we can do that. Got one more round tile for another little bubble on the water. Gonna put that there. This one goes here. This one goes there. That one goes on top. Yep. Okay. I think that's the water sorted. And we can move on to the terrain. Put the white drawers away. I think it's time for another drink, folks. Cheers. Wow, limps are hard to build. I've had the iron torso done at least in studio for like 2 months, and at this point, but the legs and arms continue to evade me. I tried one single character build in my Lego building career, if you want to call it that. So I am of very little use in that field, Mac. But I've also found limbs to be quite difficult, especially for organic builds. I think I could manage to make a convincing mech. But when it comes to organic stuff, I was trying to build Artorias from Dark Souls 1 as a brick build figure, you know, slightly larger than a minifig. Well, not slightly larger, was a decent amount larger, but you know, intended to work with a minifig. And that was difficult. That was difficult, and I scrapped it pretty quickly. Alright. Let's get to the terrain. We need a 1x5 plate. I've got some in immediate nougat right here. We're just going to put that on there. That'll be alright. A 1x4. Got a couple of those up here in white. Oops. There we are. Cover that up. Where's that plate coming from? Oh. I think. Oops. There we go. That goes like so. We can ditch that one. Oh geez. Swap that out like so. Then we can put a regular plate on there, and we saved as one light aqua 1x1 plate. That goes back on there. We need a 1x3 plate. Let's pull one from the light bluish grey stack. That's what I've got the most of right now. Then just a plate filler. We're going to use tan there. And I reckon I'm gonna work on the beach area first. Yeah. With the added bonus in mind that we might just add another module on the side later on. Maybe that's one for the filler build for the video next weekend. And then maybe we'll build another module on the next stream in 2 weeks. Did you take pictures of the Artorias build? I did post some work in progress pics in the workshop, but that was like 2 years ago, so you can use the search bar, see if you find them. But it's been, you know, like I said, been a good while. What color for the beach, folks? Are we gonna go with tan, or are we feeling something a little more into the reddish direction? You know, warm tan, nougat, light nougat, medium nougat, that kind of range. What are we thinking? I can bring up a gradient right here of light nougats, warm tan nougats, and medium nougats compared to tan, warm tan, maybe tan, warm tan, dark tan. I don't think they mesh very well. Well, it works, but it's not fantastic. That's kind of what we're working with here. From the bottom up, that is light nougat, warm tan, nougat, medium nougat, and then the top is dark tan, warm tan, regular tan. What kind of colors are we feeling today, folks? I'm going to put those here. You can check those out while we keep working on it. Get the aperture back up. So we have that even exposure. Focus should be alright. And I'm going to start just laying out the basic foundation, which I'm going to do in dark tan, just because that's going to show through that, you know, one layer of transparent light blue pips that we put on there. And just so that we don't have fancy colors showing through that one layer of transparency, we're going to add some filler there. Yeah, we can ditch that one. Do we have... We don't have another 1x1 round tile. Regular. Nope. That's a bummer. Okay. Well, let's steal it from over here. Put that there. You go back on it. And yoink that. Yoink this one, and then put a 1x1 plate there instead. Little bubble on there. Who cares? What about going more exotic and using yellow? That's an interesting, interesting idea. Regular yellow, I think, is out of the question. Sorry, can I clear my throat real quick? Give me a second. We're back. I might just chuck a little pill. Let's see. That might help. Right. Yellow. I'm definitely going to pull up the greens because I think those are going to be used for sure on this build. I'm going to pull those out real quick, just so that we've got them present. There's our sand color gradient. Green collection also very limited, so we're going to have to see what we've got to work with here. And maybe we're not going to do beach at all. Maybe we'll just go with a kind of greenish. Let's pull that over here, actually. Can use that plate right there. That one right here. Let me just lay down some parts here. And we'll see if that might be an option. I don't have any wedge plates in any of the greens, but we do have the ability to put some snot work in here. Let's see if that may be a way here. Does this build have a purpose? Defined purpose. Currently, it's well, its only purpose is to be something for us to build on stream here and enjoy in the process. Other than that, it doesn't really have a purpose as of now. I think. Let's see. Oh, that's a long plate. The long brick. That is very unfortunate. We're gonna have some yellow showing through the water, I feel like. Unless we take it all apart again and redo this little section. Well, maybe. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine. Alright, let's see. Let's roll with it for now and we'll see if we need to change it later on. Oops. Come on. Almost lost it there. You put the plate on one side offset. That's not as intended. There we go. It's supposed to be like this. Welcome in, Fiverr first. Alrighty. The tension of the plate is getting the better of this one already. We need a brick here. 1x3. We've got a lot of 1x3 in the grades. Blue spray probably the better choice here. And let's put that there. And now, folks, we're going to use a 1x1 quarter tile right there in order for just that little lip. Let's get you in there. For just this little lip. Where's my tweezers? There. Right there, that little corner. You can see it. We're going to use that to our advantage to offset one of these two cheese slopes here by half a plate. Which is actually stupid, I should just offset by a whole plate. But my remaining light blue spray bricks and off topic. I'll have a look in a second, Bobo. Yeah, let's just offset it a whole plate. What the heck? Right, how are we gonna do that? Regular brick mod, I reckon. Isn't that right? Let's see. Let's swap that out for lime, because the cheese slope is lime. Actually, I'm not sure I vibe with this. It's a bit too bright for my taste. But we'll go with it for now and see where it takes us. Brick mod. Color should be lime. Only got 1x2 brick mods in lime though. So that might be slightly inconvenient. Let's see. And that also just, actually let's put, getting a plate down there. That's it. That goes right there. Alright, we're gonna fill that in. That sucks. Do we have any alternative? No, we do not. That's very unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. Yep. Okay, we'll have to work with this somehow. Got a 2.5 plate gap to fill right there, which we're probably going to do with just another set of cheese slopes, which is technically illegal, but who cares? I just don't like the look of it usually. I prefer to have a plate there, but beggars can't be choosers. So let's see, can we swap this out maybe? We should be able to. If we just Took this plate, this tile, moved it over here. Come on, another 1x1 plate, please. There it is. And we'll put another quarter on there. And then we've got this one here. We need a 1x1 tile. Right there. Okay. Let's move that over. Another 1x1 plate. Yes, sir. There it is. Sweet. Okay, folks. Let's put a plate here. Oops. And a tile right here. Maybe. Maybe actually. Yeah, let's try that. Oh, now it would be so nice to have a plate there. Unfortunate. Most unfortunate. Let's see, do we have any other line parts? Just regular, nah, okay. Nope. Nope. Well, let's put that on the mental checklist. Gotta order some line 1x1 brick mods. Let's check out Bobo's pick in the Discord. Right there. Ivan is working, I see that. Ivan is working on a build too, that's good to see. Boba bricks. Well, sorry. That is indeed not a lot. But you'll manage. You'll manage. Mac just learned of a new piece. 1x1 round clip on bottom. Yeah, that's fairly new if it's the one that I think it is. That's a nice piece. I've yet to get my hands on some of those, but it's on the list. Sorry. Center whip into whip, so that build with the house. I did see that even. Good to see. Good to see you working on it. What was I looking for? Good question, I don't remember. Well, maybe I wasn't looking for anything. Yep. Let's put a quarter here. We can use a 2x6 right there. Just like that. Let's see. Oh no, that sucks. That sucks. I don't like the look of that. Hmm. Limited piece collection. Not a whole lot of fun. But we're gonna make it work. Well, let's see how's that. Maybe actually let's stitch this curved slope right here. Oh, music went out. Tell me, folks. Gotta put that on repeat. Look at that. And shuffle it as well. Hope that works. Hello, Mikhail. Joking back for about 20 minutes. It's good to see you. Glad you could join us for at least those 20 minutes. How's your day been? Have you had a good time? Good weekend? Okay. Mark is back as well. Good to see. Alright, let's put some spring yellowish green, as Lego calls it, down here. Maybe. Let's see. It's a decent ways off tan. Maybe. Let's see. Dark green. Sand green. Sand green. And a sand green look to that. Next to that. That could work. that could work. It's a bit more muted though. Sorry for that. Yeah, let's ditch that curve slope here. Maybe ditch that too, put a plate here and a tile here. Come on. Those are tight pieces. There we go. Maybe something like that. What do we reckon about the colors, folks? It's a bit bright. I'm not sure I vibe with that, to be honest. Let me know what you think. That is yellowish green slash spring yellowish green, or whatever Lego calls it, with lime. There. Back you go. How do we feel about that? Do you have warm tan? I do. I do have a limited warm tan collection. Here's our gradient of tan shades that I do have available. You know, light nougat, medium tan, regular nougat, medium nougat, dark tan, warm tan, tan. So, love the water gradient. I'm glad to hear it. I'm sorry, folks. Gotta mute myself again there for a moment. Yep, Nicole doesn't want me to talk a whole lot. Let's have another. Cheers. Wait, warm tan doesn't equal medium tan? Warm tan is medium tan. One is used by Lego, one's used by Bricklink. But they're the same color, obviously. There's so many tans now. There's 3 tans. Warm tan, regular tan, and dark tan. All of the other ones are nougats. And oranges. Well, dark orange, reddish orange, bright light orange. Regular orange, obviously, but I think that's a bit outside of the gradient. Thought there was 4. No, well, to my knowledge, there's only 3. Final level medium tan. Could you repeat the colors? Which ones do you mean, Bobo? The one on the sand are light nougat, medium tan slash warm tan, regular nougat. Let me get the aperture down for you. That'll have you see the colors a little better. Light nougat, warm tan, regular nougat, medium nougat, dark tan, warm tan, and regular tan. But it's so expensive at the moment. Yeah, it's not cheap, unfortunately. I think we're going to try using more sandy colors. So let's take this off, or the lime. And using sand colors will also allow us to actually integrate this key-slope transition there a little better. So that's good news. Let's get out the sands. Some tan right here. We need 1 cheese slope, 1 regular tan pre-modified to fit right in here. Some filler plates, we'll swap that out for the dark tan. Got myself some warm tan in my late sprinkling order. It's a nice color, it is. Oh wait, I have to cover the color then. Which one would that be, Mark? Which one would that be? Oh, I do have one. Yep. I do have some wedge plates in tan, so I might as well put those to use. Yeah. Yep. Yep. That'll help. That'll help. Alright, let's see. We can ditch that one then. We can fix that little hiccup right here. What was there before? There was nothing there before, that's right. Okay, let's ditch that. Let's put dark tan plate underneath, why not? Dark enough, I reckon. Ditch that one by one. Put that one back on, like so. Yeah. Got to clean my nose real quick, folks. Sorry. We're back. So light nougat, medium nougat, nougat dark orange, and then dark tan, medium tan, tan. Right? You mean the gradient here? Once again, that is light nougat. Then we've got medium tan, or warm tan, whatever you want to call it. That one is nougat. The one used for, well, the third from the left is nougat. The one used for clone faces, for example. Then we've got medium nougat. Then over here is dark tan, medium tan, and tan. There is no dark orange in this gradient. Dark orange would look like, let me reach over here. Look like this. That is dark orange right there. Is it the same color twice on the black plate? Yes, warm tan is a second from the left and a second from the right. Because I think it works with both the skin tones and the sandy tones. Like the nougats and the tans. Even though it is called medium tan. Right, let's put that here. We've got... Yeah, we'll put a quarter. Didn't I already have a quarter? No, I do not. Didn't. Sorry. Put that there. Put one like that here. Yeah, sure, why not? Why not? That works. I'll put that one here. I'm sorry. Oh, that talking. My throat doesn't really enjoy that with the cold. Put that there. This one, we can leave that one out then. Let's put a 1x1 plate right there. One of those. And then... Oh, maybe that'll look a little too circular. Yeah, let's swap that for a plate right there. Then we'll ditch this one and that plate, so you can't really see it very well, folks. Got it, I got full. No new color discovered then. Oh, when LEGO purchasing news, I got a ton of LEGO games recently for a very good price. Sweet. Welcome in, Isaiah. Didn't see you there. Being able to fill out more and more gradients is something I'm very excited for. Same. There we go. Welcome in, Isaiah. How are you doing today? Quarter. Thank you. There we go. And I think we're going to transition over to rockwork now, which we are going to do using a... Do I have that drawer out here yet? I don't think I do. No, I do not. It's right there. With the smaller wedges. I think we want to start with those into this rockwork right here. Actually, yep, I think that will be fun. Let's put a little rock sticking out of the waterfall. Just replace one of those cheese slabs right there. And put that one here. Oops, nope. That's right. There we go. Yep. Darkish grey cheese slab coming in. Let's put that there. And that one goes here. Yep. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Maybe put a blue one on there. Let's see how that looks. Nope, nope. Transclear is the way. That one needs to stick out more though. Buy one get 4 on Lego games. So I got sorry, World's Hobbit, Batman 1 to 3, 1 and 3, sorry, and City Undercover. Well, those are some classics, Mac. Those are some classics. Righty, let's see. Do I have? There's one more round in there. Maybe another cheese slab would be good. Let's see. Actually, where is the tile? White 1x1 tile will be very convenient now. Yep, there we go. And maybe a stadium tile or a quarter. It'd fit nicely there. I'll give you guys a closer look once I've got this all put in place. How's that look for a little rock sticking out, folks? Is that too small, or does it work? Not sure about the orientation of this tile, but I think this way around that's a little better. I'm not sure it works. Feel free to let me know what you think. It'll work better in my head. Oh, and that aperture, open it up again. There we go. That's better. Alright folks, 19 concurrent viewers, that's, I want to say that's a record. So thank you all for tuning in. As usual, feel free to like the stream for the algorithm. We definitely appreciate the support. I think I'm going to go back to the... I lost half my build there. And 2 stats flew away. I'm gonna revert back to the original vision here. And put, yep. Oh, that's the one. Okay. Over here. There we are. Actually, to connect that though, I think I'm gonna swap these real quick. Put, yes sir, that one on here. Just to interlock them all a little more. Nothing too crazy. That one goes here then. This one there. I feel slightly stupid. Yep, okay, that doesn't work, unfortunately. You need another 1x1 plate, which I'm not going to dig up. Oh wait, no it doesn't. Ah, jeez, what am I doing? How was it before? I think this one went here, like that. And then this one went, yes sir, there we are. Okay, we're back. We're back. I didn't like the rock as much as I thought I would. I'll head out. Let's have a good night, everyone. Have a good sleepover breaks. Thank you for tuning in today. It was great to have you. I hope you enjoyed the stream. And Mikael as well. See you around. And thank you for tuning in as well. Right, we wanted to start with the rock work. Let me get some 1x2 plates. Dark bluish grey going right here and right. That's stupid. Let's use a 1x4 there instead. There we are. Right, let's see. Maybe. Yeah, why not? Why not? Let's put a tile down here. And do some snot work. Start out with some good old snot work. Yeah, I need a regular. Like this. Tile goes there. Now we need some filler at the back. There we are. That one on there, and then we can... sorry, no. Are we going to use a bracket? No, we're not going to use a bracket. That's... It would make sense. It would make sense. But I think we're better off. Let's see. We can remove that tile. Put it here. And swap this. Oh, yeah, that works. That works. Okay. Welcome in, Barter. Good to see you. In this case, you being on the correct account actually makes me identify you as the correct person. Well, thank you for the heads up that it's you. MOC looks really nice. I appreciate it. We were messing around with some bits and bobs today, and I'm glad to hear it is enjoyed. Quarter, please. There. Let's put one of those here. I think that's a decent start. Right. Got a bit of a sore throat, so gotta clear that occasionally. Apologies for that. I'd say your streams are the chilliest. Hope they're not the coldest, if that's the kind of chill you're referring to. There's so much motivation to build, and the jazz adds so much. I'm glad to hear it, Mark. I'm glad to hear it. It's good to hear you enjoy it. Yeah, we're going to ditch the green. I much prefer the more realistic sandy colors, even though the green was nice in concept. Maybe we'll put some yellowish green grass on, you know, wherever we put some, when we get away from the beachy area. But for now, let's clear this out so that we've got some space to put other drawers. Bring more back in its drawer over here, and we'll put these back. All right. Some more tan, I reckon, and the medium tan, and maybe some light nougat as well. That does mesh with tan reasonably well. We'll see if we can make something work. Maybe that one goes there. Yeah, I don't think that's too shabby. That's all right. Yeah. Some filler in here. Gonna keep the side clean with some 1x2 plates right there. Yeah, but we've got plenty. Something is off here. Yeah, welcome in. It's good to see you all. Your streams are spicy, alright. Sea Breaks, welcome in. Nice progress so far, I'm glad to hear it. just a little doodle today. We'll see where it goes. And welcome in, Gav. Hope you're doing well. And are not having a cold like I do. Because it is getting annoying. Some more tan right there. Oh, let's put some... Oh, actually, maybe we'll put some bushes there. So, let's put some of those. Maybe a plate here. Gotta have some more studs on there, I think. Yep. Let's maybe turn this around. At that point we might as well just use a regular 2x2 plate. That should be one right here. Yes, sir. Yeah, I think that's better. Yep. Okay. Let's see, what kind of plant life do we have? Maybe we'll just have some little stems on there. We'll see, we can always change the color later. For now, I think just having something there might break up the... Well, it's not monotonous yet. Let's just break up the color just a bit. And I think I'm going to swap out some parts here in their orientation, just so that I get, hopefully, a bit closer. Yep, wording. Hopefully get them a bit closer together. So there's a bit of a gap here. Let's see, can we, maybe, yep, there's an opportunity right there. And we can pull them a little closer together. Don't like having too many gaps between pieces. 1x2 right here. Ditch that one. Let's see. It's not Sunday, baby. Let's go sneezing. Welcome in, Mal. It's good to see you. Gavin's an expert at being ill. He may have some advice. Batu, feedback is always welcome. I mean, if you've got anything to note on this build, feel free to put it in the chat. Whether or not we use it is a different story, but it's always good to have it. Just recovered from my cold and bring on a fever. All right, I see, I see. Alright, let's put... Yeah, let's get going with that rock work here. Let's grab some of those bricks over here. From the old sketch. Actually, let's not grab any bricks from that old sketch, we'll get to those later. But we're going to start with some snot work. Just a little something right here. We do need something on the inside there, though. All right, let me go dig for some filler bricks. That is too big. Just need some 1x4s and stuff. There's one. There's another. That should do us for now. Yep, that gives us a decent offset, but I'm gonna fill the little gap here with a dark bluish grey piece so it doesn't show through. Yep. More filler. We love our filler. Connect all of this together. There we go. Some parts in the back there. There we are. Maybe. Let's get the big one here. Oh, that's a bit simple. Let's see, maybe we can integrate a wedge here. Nope. That's got the slope in the wrong direction. We do need that little face filled. No facets there, please. Smaller one though. Yep. I think that'll be fine. Now, let's see. One of those. Maybe another stud here. Oh, nope. Better off over there. That one here. Oh, let's actually. Yep. Okay. Let's move to a new layer and get some brick. Some brick. To go right here. And let's put a layer of warm tan, maybe. Why not? Oh! Lucky me, I got some of those wedge tiles, 1x2, in medium tan. That is very nice. That is actually amazing. And we've got quarters as well. Oh, I love myself. Good job past me for ordering those. I very much appreciate you. That is good stuff. Alright, and we can beautifully, oh my goodness, okay. We can beautifully use those wedge tiles. Let me get that aperture down for you. Can beautifully use those wedge tiles to actually work with some wedge slopes. What's the goal? Ice landscape looks good. Mr. Luap. It's actually supposed to be a waterfall, but yeah, I've heard ice now for a couple of times. But yeah, like I said, it's going to be a waterfall. We're going to have a little bit of rock work, and as you can see, we've got some axle hole bricks all around the sides. So this is supposed to be, or well, at least the plan is to maybe make this a little bit of a series of just building various modules and just put them together in the end. So that's kind of the idea right now, and we'll see where it goes, as we usually do on this live stream. Alright, let's see, maybe, just maybe. No, that is... no, that's not gonna work. We need something inverted here, maybe. Maybe something like this. Nope. I find these little pieces, I find them very nice, but I find them very difficult to integrate. The 2x2 with the kind of jagged edges. Now, I think I need to have another set, folks, so cheers. Because my voice is slowly but surely giving up. So we'll see how far we get today. Let's put some more fill brick down in here. We can use a 2x4 here. Let me grab one of those. There's two. Let's put, yep, let's put in 2x3 there though, so that we can keep the outer edge clean. Good evening, Pisa, welcome in. Very true, rarely use them, too much texture, I feel. Yeah, I would like to agree, and at the same time I feel like it's good to have them. They're just difficult to integrate, same as these. Is that 4x4? That's 4x4. Yep. Well, 4x4 wedges with those jagged edges as well. Although I do not like these as much as the 2x2 for whatever reason. Not able to quantify it, but yeah. I want to use them. I want to use them. I just have. I think what we're going to do is use some more small pieces to integrate that one a little better. So yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. I think we're going to put a snot wedge right here, something like that. Maybe even a bigger one. Yeah, and put something on the bottom right there. I think that would work. And maybe something like this. Either this way. Yeah, I think that would look nice. Let's get to it. We need something like this here. Just like that. That's beginning to look like something. Yeah. Actually, I'm not entirely sure I like it. Let's put a quarter tile there instead. On that bottom edge. Right there, I see how that looks. This way around, maybe. Yeah, I think I prefer that. Alright, and then we need some more here, which we are going to use a translite blue plate for, in order to make it look less out of place. That's a 1x4 tile, that's not supposed to be in there. That's going in the bag. There we are. Come on. Right. What do we think of, folks? Do you intend to finish this on the stream? Probably not. Probably not. Sole reason, though, being that it's already 10:15 p.m. And yeah, I'm not gonna pull an all-nighter here. Which maybe we don't have to. Maybe it's all going smooth sailing from here. But it's currently not looking like that. So yeah, probably not gonna be finished on stream today. I'm not sure I like the big wedge thing. Maybe we'll swap it out for just a 1x6 curved slope. And then maybe something like this. How are we feeling, folks? Is that too big of a piece? Should we go more small parts like on this side, or use bigger pieces as well? Having the waterfall consistently 3 studs wide seems a little linear. Yes, I do see what you mean, Oshi. The reason it's only 3 studs wide is because I'm almost out of pieces. Not sure I get the sand part. Not sure I get it either. Sorry, but it's one of those things we'll figure out as we go. But I'm thinking of, where's my wedges there? Of integrating it something. Come on, where's my wedge plates? There. Of integrating it, you know, with one of those in some way, and then have like a bit of a rock. Maybe we'll have a Now we might have a, you know, like just a little waterfall coming down here on the other side, just like a second little thing, and have a bigger pond at the top as well. That might be an option. I'm actually going to swap this out for a tile. So we can put stuff on there. Nope, that doesn't work. I think we're not going to use light nougat on this one. Maybe a quarter like that. Let's see. That might work. 15, are you German by any chance? I am German, in fact, yes. And one question, do you have a color layout, or do you just try the colors to see what looks best? It's just messing around. We tried some greens before. If you scroll back on the stream, you'll be able to see that. And now we're at the tans. Lots of hellos there, folks, thank you. I feel like it would be more realistic with smaller wedge pieces, alright. Actually, regarding the width of the waterfall again, we tried, you might have been around for that, we tried adding a bit of a rock in the middle of it earlier. But that didn't look very nice, so we ditched that. But we could go back to that if we wanted to. So if you think that might solve the issue, we can try that again. But for now, I'm gonna focus on this little side of the rock work here, so that we get something that looking somewhat finished today. So we need a bit of something coming out of the wall there. Go get those plates. These slopes as well. It's not fall over here. There we are. They quickly came back. If anyone else here is planning on going to Scabeck Fan Weekend this year and does not have a cabin yet, send me a message on Discord ASAP. That's good to know about the bricks. I only know that Mikkel is going, because he told us on stream, I think. But I'm probably not going to be there. But in any case, good to know. Alright, and let's see what we can put here. That one, probably not. Let's get out the plate goes on there. And then we need a cheese slope on here. Another wedge slope. Yeah, I'm not sure I like that. Nope, I do not. Okay. Then we're gonna put a tile there then. And put some snot work on that. For which I need the other direction of which slope again. Hello, that's spreading, be careful. Yep. Like allergies in spring. Luckily well, at least I hope nobody is allergic to hellos. Okay, we need a couple of brick mods. Got way more pieces here than I need. Clear up some. Actually, we do need those, but we're probably not going to use the nougat. Light medium. Sorry, light nougat. I'm always confused. It's going away as well. Let's see. What kind of parts we're going to use there? Something like... Nope. We need it to come out of the wall a little more. And I think... some wedges might just do the trick. Well, technically introverts are allergic to hellos. Well, guess you're not wrong there, Gavin. Do you buy from Bricklink or Pick a Brick, and do you plan to add minifigures? Sorry for all the questions, I'm trying to get a bit more professional in my MOCs. Absolutely no worries. We're glad to answer whatever questions we're able to answer. I buy from both Bricklink and Pick a Brick, in-store and online. And for this particular 12x12, there are probably not going to be any minifigures on there. But in case we do expand it, there is the chance that minifigures end up on there. So, what was I trying to do? Let me get some brackets. And inverted one by one will be quite convenient here. Up 2x2 goes. Actually, no, we don't need that. Just need 2 plates right here. In which case, we might as well put a D-snot, much to the horror of some people in BII. Gonna actually use some D-snot in this build. And put those here, yes sir. That looks like it's gonna work out fine. Maybe just one. And some plates there. And maybe no one of these. Nope, that doesn't work. Okay, never mind. Oh, but I think that's gonna be alright. Let's put it in and see how it looks. Need to build up some filler in the back. Slap that one on there. We need a bracket there and a plate. What? Oh, that's a headlight brick. All right. In that case, no bracket is, no additional plate is necessary. Let's swap that out. Why to the horror of BII? There's some folk in BII that don't appreciate the D-snot as much as other people. It'd be sad to expand it. What do you mean, Mark? Would you prefer to keep it as a 12x12? Which we could of course do. Just wouldn't be a very long-lasting series. Let's see. Maybe we can put that one on there. Oh, that's a bit too symmetrical, maybe. Well, not symmetrical, but it's a very obvious shape. Well, we'll get to that when we get to it. Let's put that one on there first. It's so cute, that's small. I like small marks. Oh, valid. Valid. Fortunately, Brico isn't watching the stream. Yep, yep. Dead on there, Isaiah. Palm is best for small parts and new/rare colors, otherwise Bricklink is often better. Pretty much. That doesn't look too shabby. It's not fantastic either. Nope, needs a straight slope there. Something like that, maybe. Let's see, do we have any more dark bluish grey snap pieces? Definitely need one there. Ah, that's too far. Come on. The only issue I see with the D-slide is that it can't be replaced as a step reverser to them. Well, most of the new pieces can't, right? Two upright 1x1 brackets can't be connected back to back either. Neither can the currently produced mold variant of this piece. But if you I'm not sure, I think these are the new ones. I got them on Pick a Brick on the wall. No, but they're the old ones. They're the old ones. Anyway, if you put them back to back, like the new mold variant, if you put them back to back like this, it's illegal too. No worries, Mark. You don't need to get the reference. But like I said, there's a couple of folks that don't like the D-slot in there. But that's beside the point. We're here to just build a little and have a good time. I think. What are we gonna do with this? I feel like I'm overusing the 2x2 wedge here a bit. Yeah. I don't know. Let's stick to this one. Maybe connect that together for the time being. Nope, that's not happening. This one isn't tall enough. Maybe. Come on. There. There's one. Let's put a wedge tile on there. And another 2x2, 1x2 plate. Oh, I would like to see that connected though. Well, let's swap that for a brick mod then. Let's see, how can we connect that? That one should stay the way it is. This one goes right back in there. What about it's not too 1x2 slope? We'll try that. We'll try that. I bet it's also someone just having slept past the tolerances and it's actually fixable. Bricksculpt did a video on sorry, on a couple of snot pieces, and I've also tried it myself with a couple of parts. Ever since I figured out that the 1x1 brackets, like if you put two 1x1 brackets side by side, or butt to butt if you want, you can see they kind of splay apart, and they're not the only piece, and it's a fairly consistent issue. Supposedly, when you put a bracket against a stud, that whatever you attach to the bracket can sit on top of the Lego logo molded into the stud of a piece. That's what I've heard. Whether it's true, I don't know, but might be. Right, where were we? I wanted to attach, yes. Give me another 1x2 in dark bluish grey. Wanted to attach this. These two sections together. That one goes there, that one goes back on there. Wait. There was a wedge plate there. There was a 1x2 curved wedge on here. Not perfect, but it works. And what quantities do you buy parts? I mean, mostly small parts, not larger than a 2x4 brick. Whatever I need for any given project. I do have a fairly sizable collection, as I'm sure you're aware if you watch my videos. And yeah, I don't need a whole lot. So whenever I order, it's fairly small quantity. Unless, of course, I need a pillar brick. But other than that, it's yeah, like I would say like 50 is the max usually, unless I know that I'm going to need more. But yeah, I hope that helps. All right, let's put those back on. That one here, and that should now be, yep, that holds a lot better. And now we can put something like this maybe on there. And that sticks out a little far, but we can work with that, or around that I should say. But that's too tall. Then I'm gonna have to raise a waterfall in order for that to look somewhat decent. Yeah, no, that's not the move, unfortunately. Yeah, or a couple under of wind max. Exactly, Mark, exactly. Well, I'm getting sidetracked. Might be a sign of me getting a little tired as well. So let's see that we get something done, and then maybe we'll call it for the day, and we'll be back sooner than later. Let's see. Maybe something like that here. This one too tall. Maybe a curved slope. Yeah, why not? Why not? Straight slope. Yeah, I think that'll be the best option. There's something underneath that. Ah, I wish there was a 2x3 wedge. There is. But that's not enough. That's not gonna look good. Yeah, but I think this is in fact the way. So we need more filler. Stack those up in the back here. And yes, we do need that here. And one tile to fill the empty space. And then we need a bracket. No, we need a brick and 2 plates. What do you recommend for a beginner like me? Because I need some of the basic parts like slopes, wedges and plants. I also build mostly smaller MOCs. Smaller MOCs is definitely a move I don't see a lot from beginners. Everyone likes to go big. That's a generalization, I should say. But it's good to see that you're starting small, because that's how you're able to get good detail with a limited collection. In terms of what I would recommend, everything that's on the table right now. But on a more serious note, I think, let's head over to my channel for a second. I'll get this one should have, there we go, let me know if that works. If you go to the video section, and I want to say, yeah, this one. For Age of the Ancestor, my little foraging MOC. The intro of that is just a pan across all of the types of pieces that I used in that build. And I think there might be some other small builds that I showed the pieces on. So feel free to have a look at those and see what you can make out and go from there. Because there's a bunch of parts that you can, use pretty much for everything. But when it comes to rock work, 2x4 wedges, all kinds of little curved slopes and modified slopes. For terrain, wedge plates, tiles, plates, regular plates obviously, various different colors. And what I can recommend, if you don't have a lot of pieces, build a small model in Studio and buy all of the pieces you need for that. That way you don't have any upfront expense, and when you buy something you actually get pieces that you can probably use in future MOCs as well. And then mess around with those, make some small builds and see whatever else you need and buy that as you go. A lot of yapping here. I'm a little tired, so I hope that was of some use to you. Right, I think we were up here, we wanted to connect this slope, which we needed this assembly for, right there. We need one more plate, just like that. Yeah, I think that does in fact work. Let's get another plate. Oh, I forgot. Okay. I guess we'll just get in there with 2 plates. And well, that might have been not the greatest idea I've had. Inconvenient, we're dealing with a little half plate offset there, which we can work around. Shouldn't be too difficult. But it's kind of annoying that it's in that particular spot, because I don't have a lot of sideways room to work with, because it's interfering with the waterfall. Back from lunch, what's the progress? Rockwork is the progress. And I don't know if you left before we changed the beach to actual sandy colors. But yeah. Good to know. And quantity-wise, if I have nothing, around 50 per part? Depends. If you're talking something like this, then 50 per piece is going to be plenty. But if you're talking about something like, well, something that has a little more terrain, well, a little more flat terrain, I should say, then obviously increase the quantities of pieces for flat terrain as you see fit. I left sometime 15 minutes ago. Only 15 minutes ago, seriously. That's crazy. Felt like a lot longer. Let me see, I've got timestamps on. Let's see the receipts. I'm not finding it anyways. Oh well there. Oh, God knows. Quick lunch. Indeed. Even. Welcome back in. I'm a little bit on the edge about this wedge slope right here. I think I'm going to take it out and replace it with a modified 1x2 slope. And then, what then? Good question. No, that kind of sucks. Well, okay, let's leave it for now. I wanted to finish this little top section here so that we have something to go off of. Which means we've got the little half plate offset there. Actually, let's just put a brick on there. Who cares? Who cares? Put a couple of bricks here. That's alright. Plate on the bottom. I'll put a plate there. I'll just put another slope there. That'll take care of the little lip of that half plate gap. Maybe 1x3 curved? That's not too shabby. That's not too shabby. And maybe, just maybe, we'll put a clip there to attach some foliage to. Maybe not a round one. Let's see. Oh, that would work. That would work. But I think we're gonna go with the irregular clip. Just like that. And just so we know to put something there, a clip in a little stem. Who knows if we're gonna stick with that. Absolutely no problem, Lua. And good night to you as well. Thank you for spending some time with us tonight. Alright, let's make a connection here. Using some, actually we can just use a corner plate there. Connect the waterfall to the terrain. Right, I'm getting a bit tired, which makes me kind of reconsider what I've made here, which I don't think is the best approach. Maybe it's good to get back to this tomorrow. Maybe off stream, maybe I'll start another stream tomorrow. And go from there and just have a good sleep over it then come back with a new perspective tomorrow. One thing that I'm just seeing, there's a little opportunity. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. That seems reasonable. Decent at the bottom. Little 1x1 brick mod with studs on adjacent sides. Right here. This one goes back on as it was. That one goes here. I think that's... It's not perfect, but it's alright. It's gonna do the job, I feel like. Would be nice to have it like a plate further over to the side, but for now, I think this will work. Maybe. Maybe. Did I say I was going offline? No, no. We're gonna be building a little more here. Let's put a G-slope there. There. I don't like the width there. Maybe just a plate. Right there. And a quarter. Didn't pull out the tiles yet. Don't need them as often. Like that, or like that. I think this way around is better. Then we can swap all of this, I think. Sorry, this way around. Yes, we can. Can all swap all of that out for slightly different assembly. Only need a regular brick mod there. Actually, you know what? An extension of this waterfall would be great. Like, it would look cool with more levels of this waterfall and some landscaping around it. I like that. I like that goal. Yeah, maybe we'll build another module that attaches to the back of it, and we'll have a little pond up here, and then the next module will have another little waterfall. Good point, Malt. Good point. I see what you mean, yeah. So you're saying we should kind of round it off to this side, like the water is kind of eaten into the rock. Valid, yes. That's a decent point. Actually, I'm stupid, dude. What have I done here? No, I wasn't stupid. It was alright. It was alright, it just looked off. That goes there. Then we had this one. Regular brick mod right here. And that one can go on. Okay, well, we just need to swap out, come on, that wedge slope. That one is acceptable, I can live with that, I think. And then put a tile here in the cheese slope. Here, that should... Yeah, I think that's acceptable. Alright, now let's kind of try... Actually, no, it's a little big. Shit! Okay, let's stitch that for now. Maybe let's use a wedge. No, wedge plate in rocks. Difficult. Yeah, I'll head out to see you all around. Well, thank you for joining us, Malt. And I appreciate the feedback. Have a good night's sleep as well. And Peter as well. Have a good night. And thank you all for joining us today. It's been good fun. I think we're going to end it in about 10 minutes as well. It's 11 PM here. And I think that is a decent time to call it for the day. But until then, we are going to build just a little more here. Yeah, no, I'm not liking where this is going. I'm not liking it. Right, you know what, folks? We're gonna sleep over it and we'll be back. I'll continue building on this and keep you updated in the video next weekend. And then in 2 weeks we'll be back with another stream and we'll keep working on this. Maybe expand it a little bit to the sides or to the back as discussed just a minute ago. And we'll call it here for today. And we'll be back with new energy next time. My voice is going to thank me for this as well, because I don't know how long it's going to be going with me this evening before it gives up. So we're going to call it here for now. Thank you all for joining us. It was a very fun stream, despite my little cold. And I am sweating like crazy. But yeah, hopefully next time my health is going to be back to normal and we'll have another good time. Well, until then, folks. Once again, thank you all for joining us. Thanks to everyone who liked the stream. We had a peak of 26 viewers today, which is great to see. I'm glad the stream is well received. And I hope to see you all on the next one.